Hello there, everyone. Shibby here. Hope everyone out there's doing well. Today back once again with some more Tekken 8 ranked matches. As I try to climb up the purple ranks with Asuka here. Looks like my first one's going to be a Xiaoyu player, so it's not going to be an easy one. Xiaoyu always gives me a lot of trouble with how weird she is. Of course, I'm not going to do much to start here. Alright, it's not a one break. Alright. Alright, we'll heat up here, because why not? Alright, underneath the wall. It's going to break the floor as well. It's going to be a lot of damage. That didn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. Oh, I got the wrong kick. Alright, we will Rage Art here, because they haven't really been blocking. They've been trying to keep their offense. Which makes sense, because it's kind of how Tekken wants you to play. Alright. We gotta watch out, because they do have their Heat Smash. Alright, that is our turn. Oh, I can't quite launch him. Alright, well, as bad as that first round went, and how much of the back foot we were on, I'm surprised we were actually able to do anything there. It's not what I meant to do. Alright. Get our ass beat here. Alright, don't duck me there. Alright, we'll sidewalk this. Alright, we'll Rage Art again. As I kept on with their pressure there. And let's see. What would you do here? Spring kick maybe? We'll just run up and... Alright, we are plus there. Haven't gone low yet, so we'll do that. Oh, that was a weird one. Alright, thankfully they stepped into that. I didn't mean to do that 3 times. We'll sidewalk here. Wow, that clipped me behind him. Alrighty. This whole thing here. Alright, they do heat right back. Oh, that caught me sidestepping. Alright, this is going to be a hard round to try to come back on, and that's a grab. Alright. That they can pick up from. Okay, well, we're dead here. Okay, let's see if we can play a little better here. Alright, this is gonna hurt a decent amount. Right, that is plus. I tried to sidewalk that. And that got. I didn't think that would still give him a combo off of it. Wow, that reached from really far away. Alright, well, they quickly tied things up at 2 apiece here. Alright, we do get a launch there. That's unfortunate. Oh, that unfortunately whiffed horribly. I tried to duck there, but a little bit slow. Alright. I figured they'd sidewalk, but I just got hit out right there. And they're not going to be let stand up. Alright, well, we lost that one 3 rounds in a row. Not a very good showing there. Let's see if we can play a little better here. If we get the run back, we may not. It's usually how Tekken 8 is. Alright, we do. I usually don't have high hopes when it takes that long. Not that I'm against like anybody like, you know, taking their time and like taking a breather in between matches, but just with the way Tekken 8 is, it's usually like, okay, if they don't rematch immediately, then more than likely they're not going to. Alright, we do get a launch there. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves after losing 3 rounds straight. All right, that crushes. I tried to duck that. Unfortunately, a little slow. I do take the grab. I do get that grab off though. All right, they're in the corner, so I wanted, or at least up against the wall, so I wanted to try to keep pressure up there. All right, we will get a launch. All right, that's our turn. I tried to go low before they could, should have reacted to that. Tried to go low before they could power crush it, but that's why I committed to the full string. But clearly I should not have. That's unfortunate. I can get the floor break here, so this is gonna hurt a lot. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like when you're like flat on the ground like that shouldn't like quite combo like that. All right, well, we do get 2 rounds back here. That's unfortunate. Walk right into that. All right, well, we'll get the grab there. All right, that will be our turn. All right, I want them to run at me here. That's unfortunate. I thought for sure that they would get power crush there. All right, we do redeem ourselves a little bit there, winning 3-0. And get a little bit closer to Battle Ruler with Asuka here. And there's the there's the 1-and-done. Well, I guess not run it in. I tied at 1 apiece here, but all right, well, good game to that opponent. I'll be back on find my next game. Alrighty, looks like we found our next opponent here, going up against a Fakaram player, and we are on our promotion match into Battle Ruler. But let's see what we can get done here. Fakaram is not going to make this easy for sure. Alright, go for low. Oh, I didn't have a good awareness of where I was there. I can do the catch from there. Alright, do make catch with the back 3 again. Got very lucky there. Alright. Alright, they get hit by the second part of that. We'll take that. Alright, they are blocking that low, so I need to be more privy to that. But always gotta try it. Alright, but they're gonna get wall here. I want to trade. I did the wrong combo. I am surprised that made contact, if I'm being completely honest. Alright, we'll go for the grab. No break. Oh, that actually killed. I was going to do 4-4-3 since I've been doing back 3, since they might crouch to block, but never mind. I did way more damage than I ever could have anticipated. Alright, that caught me there. Alright, take that. Alright, I did not mean to launch there, but you know what? I could crouch by them. I'll hit up here. And I was going to spin it because I thought that for sure that they would crouch, but I think they just tried to act there. Alright, we do get our promotion into Battle Ruler. Don't know how much farther I'll be able to push Asuka. When before everything got reset, I think I've said this probably a few times, but she was sitting at Fujin when I last played, or it lasted my rank grind, so we'll see if we can get back up to that. I tried to sidewalk that to the right. Alright. I mistimed that horribly. Alright, we go low. I do try to press there. I messed that all up. Alright, we're gonna do 4-4-3 there next time, because they are crouching. Alright, do catch him at the mid there. Alright, we're gonna low profile them. Go for low here. Alright, they do block it. Good on them. Alright, we're gonna get the sidewalk. It's kind of off axis, so I might drop this. Alright, I did try to power crush it. I was trying to stay too offensive there. All right, get on in. All right, that's our turn. So we'll gladly take that there. I'm gonna do this again because it beat their last round start and they do get clipped. I'm gonna go for the mid. Try to get them with the low there. Alright, go for the grab. No break on it. Do 4-4-3 here. Oh, that's their turn. I wasn't 100% sure. Alright, mix up. Alright, I wasn't sure what they would do, but you know. Alright, we'll get him with the shoulder slide there. Or shoulder slide, I don't know what that was called. Power crush. Alright, well, we do manage to beat Fakram 2-0 and get almost to the halfway point of Battle Ruler. Good game to that opponent. Back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here. Going up against a King player, which is also my main in this game. So we'll see if my limited knowledge of him being my main character actually helps me here. I tried to duck it. Alright, try to do muscle armor there. Alright, they do good block in the low. Alright, so far King things are happening. Alright, well, knowledge, not at all helpful. Not when you're going to play like that. Alright. Alright, we'll get a grab off of our own here. Oh, that was bad. Alright. That time I do the right combo off of it. I should have figured. Alright, well, we're probably dead. I don't know how harshly this is going to scale, but more than likely dead. Yep. Alright, have to keep in mind that they're absolutely going to do that. I try to go for the side grab. Alright, no blocking the low that time. No tech on the grab. We're going to do 4-4-3 here. Alrighty. Alright, he did the low grab there. Oh, I thought I had recovered from that. Alright, he does break the throw there. Alright, he wants to spin a seat smash. Alright, he's absolutely gonna rage art here. Alright. Do tie things up at 2 rounds apiece. What a trade. I was a little bit late on that. Alright, no get the break there. Alright, he spins it immediately again, so he's just now dead. Alright, thankfully he blew that match 2 rounds in a row. And we do manage to get a win on the board with Asuka here. Let's see if we can win another one. Alright, good. I mean, he may adapt, but we'll see if he's still more willing to let the Rage Arch fly there.
Round 1. Fight.
Alright, do manage to catch him on the approach there. right, that's our turn. I can try to sidewalk it. All right, it's actually our turn. We'll manage to steal the first round here. I should have continued on with that. I should sidewalk that. That's unfortunate we were off axis there. But that should clip him. I tried to do mine before he could do his. That was stupid. Alright, no blocking the low there. Oh, that was stupid. I tried to do what he's been trying to do to me there. All right, we do. I thought we might have a little hope of living there, but we do not. All right. All right, 4-4-3 here. All right, we do get the hit in there. Not really rage art. Nope, we'll hit him with the shoulder crush there. Thank God he didn't grab me. All right, try the Jaguar step forward. All right, no break from me. At least I did the wrong break. I tried to do a one break there. All right. Well, I do not know how to get out of this. I'm trying. All right, he goes for the unblockable there. All right, we do sidewalk that though. Kind of off axis, so I don't know if I'll actually not drop it. All right, we'll heat up here, try to keep some pressure on. All right, we get the hit in there. I drop it bigger than shit. I tried to crouch it a little bit too slow. I tried to crouch again and didn't get it. That's unfortunate. That time I did crouch. All right, he tried to get over aggro there. So we'll punish him for the throw. All right, got to keep in mind that he has got his, so we'll try to bait it out if we can. Wow, I did not think you were able to do rage art out of the spring. I thought that was an automatic launch. All right, well now I know. I did not think you could do that. But I shouldn't be surprised. Okay, we got robbed of that one. Just 100%. I didn't know you could rage art, and of course. I don't understand Tekken 8 same times. People just don't want to adapt. It's just conserve your points. If you win, leave. If you lose, leave. Alrighty, I'll be back when I find one more match. Alrighty, looks like we potentially found our final opponent here. Up against a Mary Zo player, which I don't actually see a ton of her, but we'll see what we can get done here. If they block it. Not that I did anything spectacular there. Alright, we are plus. They're blocking the low. We'll take that. They do block it there. Alright, try to go for low and got clipped out of it, unfortunately. That was dumb. I can't believe they got hit by that. Alright, we are fortunately going to get clipped there. God, that reaches from forever far away. Am I not blocking? All right.
Round 2. Fight.
Okay, we get launched there. All right, we do get the launch there, though. All right, we do get a hit there. All right, they do block the low there. God, that looks like it should miss every time. It hits from forever far away to continue the combo on. Alright, this 1+2 break. I don't know why I didn't get the break on that. Maybe I was too late. Alright, they're gonna get the stage break there, so we're probably dead. Alright, this one's not going very well at all. I do the flip there. I will gladly take that. Alright, gladly take that. That's unblockable. I'm surprised I got the full rotation out, but we'll take it. Did I get hit by the second part of that? We do get the... Ah, I dropped it. Alright, that's plus. Oh, that was bad. Alright, that's their turn. I'm surprised I got clipped by that. Alright, managed to tie things up though. But we do get a launch, kind of off axis though, so it's probably gonna drop. Again, that's a 1+2 break. I've done that both times. I'm not sure why I'm not getting the break on that. I don't know if the timing's off or what. Ah, the time they didn't let me get away with it. Just clip them there. I didn't get my sidewalk. That's unfortunate. Alright, no break on the throw. Go 4-4-3 here. Well, alright. I don't think I don't think I've ever had that happen before. A fucking draw. Okay, well. Is it just both 0? Like what the? I have no words. I've never seen that before. All right. Well, I mean, I knew you could like double KO like that. I just didn't know like you could like what happens if you did it on the last round. That's a 1+2 break. I know that is. I don't know why I'm not getting it. They keep doing it. I have 1+2 mapped to a button. I do not know why I'm not getting it. But yeah. All right, do that right to hit there. I'm gonna get the stage gimmick. Oh, I didn't know that was gonna launch him like that. Okay, that one was not the 1+2 one. That cut my sidewalk. Alright, let's see if we can try to come back on this one. Alright, that was a very unfortunate trade. Alright, do manage to get the hit in there. I did the wrong combo there, unfortunately. Alright, got him at the mid again. That's unfortunate. I did not want to jump. I tried to sidewalk to the right. Yeah, I don't know how I got that jump. All right, unfortunately, we're gonna drop the. I guess this is technically still the first game. I guess. Yeah, there's still another rematch. I wasn't sure how that worked. All right.
Fight.
Ah, wow, that was weird. That looked like it hit me behind him. All right, stage gimmick. That just looks weird every time. Go for low there. Really, that beat my power crush. Alright, that's our turn. Alright, I had to try to keep the pressure there because we had no we were at the health disadvantage.
Round 2. Fight.
I did the launch there. I did the wrong combo though. Alright, I thought that string was over. I should have just launched him for it, probably. Alright, we'll just take a grab. It's better than nothing. Again, that's a 1+2 break. I don't know why I'm not... I'm doing 1+2. I'm not sure why I'm not getting it. There must be a timing issue there. The only thing I can gather. That's not my turn. I just think they let me have it. I had to get my rage art. Very unfortunate. Alright. And we'll get launched round start. Alright, we are plus there. I don't know, is that launch punishable? Not really 100% sure. Alright, we're unfortunately clip there. Alright, we'll heat up here. I go for the grab. That's unfortunate. All right, we do catch him on the whiff there, though. They were able to block. That's unfortunate. I thought for sure that would catch the whiff on the jab there. All right. Well, unfortunately, we are going to drop set 0-2 to Mary's. I guess I don't know. How do you count a draw in there? I guess, but that was definitely a weird one. Alrighty, well, I guess I'm going to end the video here, though. If you made this far, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.